Hey everybody, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving into the world of English today, figuring out how to get a good jump start on learning it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you sent over some really interesting stuff from linguist John McWhorter,
Yeah,
so let's see what he has to say.
sounds good.
One thing that really stood out to me was McWhorter's point about English becoming like this global language. He says it's practically everywhere. The internet, business. He even mentioned air traffic control uses English.
It's true. And it's so interesting that even though Mandarin Chinese has way more speakers,
Right.
McWhorter says that more Chinese people are learning English than vice versa.
Wow.
It's amazing. 24 universities in China teach everything in English.
24.
Yeah.
That's wild. It really shows you how important English is becoming on a global scale.
Right.
But then it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
why even bother learning other languages if English is taking over?
That is the question that McWhorter asks. He kind of tackles this idea that the language that you speak actually shapes how you think.
Oh, yeah, like some people think that if you speak a certain language, it changes your whole worldview.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But McWhorter challenges that notion.
Okay.
And he uses some pretty funny examples.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. Bono, Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian,
Okay.
they all speak English,
Yeah,
but their worldviews are wildly different.
good point.
Yeah.
So it seems like language might not be the end-all be-all of our thoughts,
Yeah.
but then what's the benefit of learning another language?
Well, McWhorter argues that one of the biggest advantages is this idea of cultural immersion.
Okay, cultural immersion.
Yeah. What is that?
To really connect with a culture,
Yeah.
you need to speak their language.
Yeah.
McWhorter uses this really powerful example from a film called Jesus of Montreal.
Okay.
And there are these French-Canadian women who are full of personality.
Yeah.
But when they have to speak English in a hospital, they become almost like different people.
Oh, wow.
McWhorter says they become husks of themselves.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how language is connected to our identity.
It is.
So even if English is becoming more common, learning other languages helps us connect with different cultures
Yeah.
and appreciate their richness.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got cultural immersion,
Yeah.
but are there any other advantages to learning a new language? Maybe something a bit more practical.
Definitely.
Okay.
McWhorter highlights these cognitive benefits of being bilingual.
Okay.
Research shows that it can actually help delay dementia
Really?
and boost your multitasking skills.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Those are some convincing reasons to learn a new language,
Mm.
but sometimes it feels like such a chore.
I get it.
Yeah.
But McWhorter reminds us that language learning can be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, he really encourages us to appreciate the quirks and fascinating elements of different languages.
Okay.
Like, did you know that the structure of Arabic is super interesting? No, I didn't know it.
The consonants are like the backbone of words, and the vowels just kind of flow around them.
That's a cool way to think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And get this, he says a simple English sentence like, do you know where I found him? He was eating cake in the tub.
Okay.
Gets totally twisted in Mandarin.
Okay.
It becomes, you can know I did where him find. He was tub inside, gorging cake, no mistake, gorging chewing.
That sounds like a tongue twister.
It does, right?
Yeah.
His point is that these little linguistic quirks make language learning feel like an adventure.
I'm starting to see what he means.
Yeah.
It's like unlocking a whole new way of seeing the world and how we express ourselves.
Exactly.
And now we've talked about some of the benefits of language learning, let's move on to some practical ways to get started.
Sounds good to me.
So we talked about why learning a language like English can be so beneficial, from connecting with other cultures to even boosting our brain power. Now let's get into some practical tips on how to actually start learning, especially for those who are just beginning their English journey.
Yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming, you know, knowing where to begin, especially with so many resources out there. But I think the most important thing is to simply start somewhere.
Right.
Even if it's just a little bit each day.
Taking those first steps, do you have any suggestions for making that process more fun and engaging?
Absolutely. I think one thing that really helps is to tap into your passions.
Okay.
Think about what you already enjoy doing and see if you can incorporate English into it. Are you a movie buff by any chance?
I am. I love a good movie night.
Perfect. You could try watching English movies with subtitles.
Okay.
It's a fun way to pick up new words and phrases while enjoying a story.
I like that idea. I sometimes find myself getting so caught up in reading the subtitles
Yeah.
that I miss half the movie.
I get it.
Are there any tips for avoiding that?
I would say Try starting with movies you're already familiar with.
Okay.
That way you already know the plot and can focus more on the language.
Makes sense.
And don't hesitate to pause the movie.
Yeah.
To repeat phrases or look up words.
That's helpful. So movies are a good starting point.
Yeah.
What about music?
Music is another fantastic tool for language learning.
What?
Just like movies start with songs that you already love. Look up the lyrics.
Yeah.
And sing along.
Okay.
It's fun and a surprisingly effective way to work on your pronunciation and expand your vocabulary.
I love that. It doesn't even feel like studying when you're jamming to your favorite tunes.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to belt it out even if you don't know all the words perfectly.
So movies and music. Checks. What are some other ways we can immerse ourselves in the English language?
You know, something as simple as switching your phone or computer settings to English can make a big difference.
Okay.
You'll be surprised how quickly you start picking up new words just by being surrounded by them.
That's brilliant. It's like having a mini English immersion experience right in your pocket.
Precisely. And the more you expose yourself to English in your daily life, the faster you'll learn.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the power of those small, consistent actions over time.
Small and consistent, got it. It's about making English a part of our daily routine, not just something we cram for.
Exactly. Speaking of routine, try setting aside a specific time each day for focused English practice.
Okay.
Even if it's just 15 minutes, that consistency can make a big difference.
Consistency is key. It's like working out a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. And remember, learning a new language is a journey, not a race.
Right.
There will be days when you feel stuck or discouraged, but don't give up. Celebrate those small wins along the way. And remember why you started this in the first place.
That's such great advice. It's so easy to get caught up in wanting to be fluent right away.
I know.
But it's important to enjoy the process and appreciate the progress we make, no matter how small.
Absolutely. And remember, you're not alone on this adventure. Millions of people worldwide are learning English. So connect with them, find online communities and resources where you can share your experiences.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ask questions and support each other.
That's so true. There's a whole community of English learners out there facing the same challenges and celebrating the same victories.
Right.
It's inspiring to know we're all in this together. We've talked about a lot of practical tips for immersing ourselves in English and finding support along the way. Is there anything else we should keep in mind as we start our language learning journey?
You know, I think one of the best things you can do is find a language partner.
Oh, a language partner. What's that all about?
Yeah.
So you were saying something about finding a language partner.
Yeah. So basically, it's finding someone who speaks English fluently and wants to learn your native language.
Okay.
You can practice English with them, and they can practice your language with you. It's a win-win.
I love that idea, learning from each other and making new friends at the same time. Where can I find a language partner?
Oh, there are so many online platforms and apps specifically designed for language exchange.
Oh, wow.
You might even be able to find local groups in your area that organize language meetups.
Cool. I have to check those out. You know, one thing that used to hold me back from speaking English was fear.
Oh, yeah.
The fear of making mistakes. It felt so embarrassing.
Totally. It's a super common feeling.
Yeah.
But honestly, making mistakes is a crucial part of learning any language.
Right.
It's how we grow and improve.
It's true. I used to be terrified of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But then I realized that everyone makes mistakes.
Exactly.
Even native English speakers.
All the time.
Yeah.
And the key is to not let those mistakes discourage you.
Yeah.
Embrace them as learning opportunities, laugh them off, learn from them, and keep practicing.
Okay.
And the more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
That's a great point. Confidence is key. And I think it's important to remember that learning English is a journey, not a destination. It's not about achieving some perfect level of fluency overnight.
Yeah.
It's about constantly growing and challenging yourself.
I couldn't agree more. It's about enjoying the process, celebrating those little wins, and always striving to learn more.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll be having this entire conversation in fluent English.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's just focus on having fun with it.
That's what it's all about. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding why English is so important to exploring practical strategies for getting started.
Absolutely. We've talked about immersing ourselves in English through movies, music, even our phone settings.
Right.
We've also discussed the importance of finding a language partner, embracing those inevitable mistakes, and remembering that it's all about enjoying the journey.
It's been a fantastic deep dive, and I'm feeling super inspired to kickstart my English learning journey. Thanks for all the insights.
Of course, my pleasure. And remember, learning a new language can be a fun and rewarding experience. So go out there, explore, experiment, and most importantly, have fun with it.
To all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of English learning. We hope you feel as energized and excited as we do. Remember, with the right mindset and a sprinkle of fun, you can open up a whole new world of communication and connection.
Absolutely. So keep practicing, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.